Alright, y'all, what it is, what it do, it's your boy Dapper back with another Power Raising Kanan reaction just for you. Now, it's the finale. There's nothing really much to be said. We all saw it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have mixed opinions on it. I didn't hate it. I can't say I loved it. Like everybody else is like crowning the Raising Kanan the best show ever. I'm just like, eh. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into my personal reasons in a couple seconds, but before we do any of that, make sure we hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for sure, and yeah, let's get into it. Forever gang, I'm never switching over. Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be voting. Rather get the pack and keep it open. All right, so before I even get into the character breakdowns like I usually do, my overall opinion on the episode, like I'm saying, I'm giving this like solid 7.5, 8, only because I felt like this kind of like it just rushed in the last 20 minutes for me, or not, or maybe the overall episode itself just felt kind of rushed. Like I felt like certain things happened that like out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. But then again, I always have to remember, like, I'm basing this on power standards. And when I say power standards, because, like, if you're, like, a person that has, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're a person that's of a certain ilk and you watch other shows, the Breaking Bads, the Ozarks, The Wire, etc., you know that realistically power doesn't line up to those shows as far as writing goes, in things of that, like, those certain type of things. Power is a powerful show, no pun intended, like on its own because of what it is and the hold it has on the black community specifically, things of that nature. So it's not like I'm not hating on it, but I judge Power based on Power standards. It's a great show in its realm, You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, compete with the other shows of, those, like I said, the Ozarks, the Breaking Bads, what I'm saying, The Wire, those, shows that really, what I'm saying, have the budgets and the resources and those type of things to get those in the writing teams and to get these things done. But I digress. Wasn't bad, again, especially against power standards. This is what we look for. We look for finales that just make us like, oh, whoa, like it's just real shock factor things. That's kind of how they always get us every season after season after season, show after show after show. It's these like cliffhangers. It's these, this person got their water cut off, XYZ, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what Power is for us. But let's get into it. This is a picture, we use this picture for Kanan, and you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on for Kanan in this episode, low key. Like, obviously the bigger main point is, we know at this point he kills Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? He basically two-timed him because Ronnie basically went after his mom's. And I said before in a previous breakdown, like, you know what I'm saying? Kanan is still at heart a mama's boy. This is all low key to prove to his mom's something about himself to his mom. But, you know what I'm saying? Obviously his ego is getting in the way of like him really knowing that to be the case. But like, you know what I'm saying? There's other things prior to like him killing Ronnie and things of that nature, and really, you know what I'm saying, two-time around. Because it seems like, for me, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like Kanan and Ronnie got into it over the whole, him going after his mom's, no permission. They didn't speak about it. And then, Ronnie calls him a little boy, and Kanan's like, yo, I'm not that little boy. Like, this ain't the partnership, this ain't what you think it is. Like, you ain't thinking you little boy and me. I'm really little boy and you. So this is the moment, I think this picture specifically is where Kanan's like, yo, like, you don't even know me. You think you know me. And I think they scrapped up the plan to get Rock basically in a vulnerable position when Kanan was just trying to two-time, Ronnie, which it worked. Basically, so he flipped it on Ronnie basically, but basically going back to other things going on, Kanan. Remember, Shorty said she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't see that, obviously, the results of that. And I'm assuming back in this day and age, going to get the abortion was definitely not something that was highly it was looked at way more differently back then. So with that being the case, you know what I'm saying, I'm interested to see that little underlying storyline, you know what I'm saying, because we know who, we obviously in the original Power, we know who Kanan's son is, or was rather. So You know what I'm saying? I just interested to see how that storyline comes together. Um, but you know what I'm saying? But beyond that, like I said, Kanan proved to us throughout this season and throughout this episode specifically that like he is one of them ones. Like he's up here with it now. It's not even just like I'm not pretending no more. Like I'm really up here with it. Like I done caught a body, I done shot dude. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm about this now. Like it's nothing. I done you know what I'm saying? I done shot my fault. Like it's crazy with him now. So he's fully officially ingratiated into like this life for real, for real. And you really can't blame nobody but Rock. Speaking of which, here's Rock. So I just want to always give Patina Miller her flowers. She's the best actress in this show 100%. She might be the best actress left since Omari's gone. She might be, in my opinion, be the best actress left in the show, actress in the show overall. Since like I said, since Omari's gone, she might be the best left because every scene she's in, I'm locked in. I'm believing it. She's amazing. She's super amazing. But we finally catch her. Before we get to the ending, so we finally catch her in a moment of vulnerability. We haven't seen this Rock. We haven't seen the Rock that, maybe outside of moments with Kanan, but we haven't seen the Rock where like she's like fully like, like giving her feelings up and things of that nature. And the therapist read her, like, like you're angry because you're hurt. And she had no choice but to sit there and kind of internalize that and be like, like, you probably right. And we see her have this moment with Lou where Lou is like, she finds out Lou says that she's the most important person in his life. And, she basically kind of feels the same. Obviously not above Kanan, but Lou is very important to her. He's the baby brother. Lou was probably more important to her until Kanan came around. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good moment to see. It was surprising me because I didn't think Rock would get shot at again. But we see Rock barely escapes with her life after Ronnie and her folks shot up, which, that triggered the whole thing we just discussed with Kanan because word got back to Kanan and, and so on and so forth. And obviously now that had Rock shook, Rock walking around with the piece everywhere, can't enter her door without her gun. She don't trust nobody, which is crazy because Rock used to move a little comfortably, but so that's different for her. But later on, obviously, unbeknownst to Rock, unbeknownst to Rock, because remember, the plan on Kanan's side was, with Ronnie, at least to Ronnie's knowledge, was Ronnie wanted the work, Kanan wanted the money. So Rock has to go out and go ask for money up front. Now, remember, she went to Stefano for this money. It was $500K liquid. Now, Stefano said, remember, he had to add a heavy, heavy vig to that money because it's a lot. Now, my thing is that money she's going to return? I'm assuming she has to return that money, correct me if I'm wrong, to Stefano. Like, there's no point in her keeping that money at this point, especially since she didn't have to give up no work, nothing. Now, a question I forgot to ask when we brought up Kanan was, remember, they left the scene with Kanan. Is Kanan left with Rock, and obviously Marvin. So my thing is, I don't know where they go from here because clearly Kanan wants to do his own thing. It's been shown that he wants to do his own thing because even down to this plan, it didn't include Rock. Maybe for the best, obviously, but what happens from here? Because I don't know that Kanan wants to work underneath Rock. And I don't know that Rock wants Kanan in the game at all. So what happens here? Do they strike a line in the sand and say, look, here's my property. Here's what I'm doing. You take this side, south side. I take this side. Who knows? But, it was just it's going to be an interesting plot line. I want to see how the writers write it for next season about how they're going to go about that relationship because it's obviously severed, but there has to be some type of teamwork because they both don't want to take each other out. Get me? Marvin. I don't know why Marvin went to the funeral. Like, it makes sense, but I also don't get it from an emotional standpoint, but I just don't know why he went there because, it's, that they're on your tail, and why wouldn't the, police pull up on you there? Obviously, they don't have any concrete dirt because we know Marvin hasn't even been arrested yet. So they have nothing concrete, we know that. But and they've been searching all this whole time for that connection between him and Detective Howard, which we know they don't get, and we'll get to that in a couple seconds. But another, like, just to bring up Marvin, like, he's on the run low key, so he has to, you know what I'm saying, stay low. But I want to know, do with what happened, do they ever get to Marvin, or is he safe now for next season? That's my question for next season. Is Marvin good now? Like, you know what I'm saying, is he not off their radar, but like can kind of chill out a little bit with his, you know, looking behind him? Because again, we know Detective Howard's not with us anymore, but we'll get to him. So yeah, Marvin, his season 4 outlook, I'm questioning it only because it's like, what is his outlook now? That he knows that he's being watched? You know what I'm saying? Does he change anything? Remember, Marvin was on this whole being a good guy, not good guy, but a decent dude kind of thing up until then. So we'll see. I bring up Snaps and Pop, of course, as well, because I really like their addition to the show. Like I said, I like their addition more than I like Ronnie's addition, because I think that like this is what we needed. We needed another like big boss. You know what I'm saying? People that like don't get their hands dirty per se. Like we not seeing them in those shootouts. They not, you know, having people up and, you know what I'm saying, putting their hands on people. It's just like, yo, I'm the guy. We got the money. We call the shots. You know what I'm saying? You don't get loud with us. You don't demand us. We do what we do. And you know what I'm saying? You listen to us type of vibe. And we needed that. You know what I'm saying? But there was an important part where they said, you know what I'm saying, talked about being Switzerland. And if you know Switzerland is known for being minding their business. They known for being the people that, you know what I'm saying, they don't get involved in affairs. They mind their own business. But he said they're Switzerland until they're not. So I want to know, they're obviously not going to be Switzerland anymore, because I think with the death of Ronnie, they got to do something, because that money is, they invested money there, and they going to know that, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's a good question, because now it's just Kanan left there. You know what I'm saying? They invested money in Ronnie and Kanan, and now it's just Kanan left. So, interesting question. You know what I'm saying? But I think this all depends on what Kanan and Rock's relation ends up being. So it's a lot of questions going on as far as the hierarchy, the structure, who's on top, who runs this side, who runs, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of questions. And remember, we still have Stefano out there. We still have the Asian dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's other people at play. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah, use this picture for Howard, because Howard had a busy episode and ultimately met his demise. We don't need to, we all watched it at this point, met his demise. And it was also about time coming, man. Like, all the dirt was piling up. This is usually how it goes in Power. Once, you know what I'm saying, we saw this happen with like somebody like Sax, where like, you know what I'm saying, all the dirt is piling up against them. There's really nowhere for them to run. He said it himself, like he don't even know if he could save himself. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't talking about dying, but he was talking about more so losing his job, his credibility. And, you know, he was on the team of thought where it was like, yo, Marvin got to take the fall. And it's like, you know, Rock wasn't having that. Rock wasn't with that from the first time he said it, much less the second, the third time he said it. So we knew he might not make it to season 4. And obviously by the hands of Rock, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He only had 2 days to get his story straight anyway with the police department, and we know he didn't really have a leg to stand on, because they was connecting the dots too quickly, and there was nothing he could really say in response to, you know, bringing up what they were bringing up. I just thought it was funny, because every time somebody gets in trouble, they want to run to religion. You saw the moment he hit with you got 2 days. Now all of a sudden he in the mosque or wherever they call it, temple. Not to be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, praying and all that stuff. It's just mad funny. But R.I.P. to Howard. You know what I'm saying, he did what he did. He was, you know, Kanan's dad, but his time came, and the water was time for cut his water off. Was what it was. R.I.P. He didn't even see it coming. That's the crazy part. It's sad because he was there as help and ended up being a casualty. Another R.I.P. Ronnie. I'm not mad at this at all, because, and I wasn't mad at Howard either. I'm not mad at this at all, because I think he was there as a buffer for the whole unique thing. And we'll get into the unique, you know, probably towards the end of the video. But he was just moving. He was too much of a wild card. Like, just got out of jail. He was a super creep. He was just too much of a wild card. Now, do I think he was killed a little prematurely? Yes, I would have liked to see him at least step into season 4, but again, with the way this season ended, he had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was moving walk. You know what I'm saying? You can't work with the kid and then try and fire his mom. Like, he been said like, yo, leave my family out of this. Like, we don't need to be touching my family. There's no need for that. Like, yeah, I don't mess with them, but I don't mean go after them. And like, you know what I'm saying? We know, like I said, he's just too much of a loose cannon. What I want to know is, where did Ronnie get these minions, these dudes that work for him? I mean, I guess I know he was moving work, he had money, but and he's a scary dude, I guess. Well, who are these people that were working with him? Like he wasn't that much of a boss to have people underneath him, like going out there trying to shoot up rock. Like, I don't know, that was a little much for me. But maybe, you know what I'm saying, money make people move. So maybe he just paid people off. Maybe it wasn't really his dudes. It was just like people he paid to do a job. So who knows? But you know what I'm saying? It was just funny to see how much he thought he had upper hand, but again, Kanan is up here with it. He's too smart. And Kanan from the jump knew he was smarter than Ronnie. And Ronnie, like I said from jump, Ronnie never proved to be this boss. Ronnie, like Unique even said it, Ronnie was good at a lot of things, but it was never moving the work and all that stuff. He was good at, you know what I'm saying, getting things done because Loki has no conscience. Like, he was good at putting people out, scaring people, intimidating, but he was never that guy that's like, you know what I'm saying, he was never that. Unique was that, you know what I'm saying? That was Unique, you know what I'm saying? So, should have waited on Unique, fool. R.I.P. to Ronnie, man, but had to go, and I'm glad it happened at the hands of Kanan, because, you know what I'm saying, to prove a point, like, look, you ain't about to go after the family after I told you not to, and think you about to walk around, you know what I'm saying? Famous. I feel bad for Famous, because Famous looked like he was escaping, because Famous had a chance to escape. He had the chance. And his mom's ruined it. People talking about online like, yo, he got the worst mom ever. His mom did what, I mean, I don't think, actually no, his mom not the worst mom, but his mom definitely did the wrong thing. Like, you're not going to take that gun. Like, you gotta at least ask me what that gun is doing in my room before you just give it to the police. That's insane. To give up a gun, you don't know what I did with it, to the police is insane. You know what I'm saying? He ends up getting, obviously, you know, he gets arrested for murder. And like I said, it's now his back's against the wall, because now they're asking for information out of him that he can give and get away. You know what I'm saying? Now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like my loyalty to the family, or it's like my loyalty to myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's, am I about to give up, you know what I'm saying, all this, my freedom for, you know, to end up not being a snitch? Or, because he could die either way. Because either way, I mean, not die, but, you know what I'm saying, he's doing damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Because if he gives up the information and he's a snitch, he going to get his water cut off in the street anyway. But if he doesn't, he probably goes to jail for a very long time. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's tough. I want to see if he gets out of the situation, because, or how he does, because I see he needs the lawyer or whatever. Hopefully the lawyer, his best bet is the lawyer find a loophole in the situation, because his mom's fake screwed him over. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will not lie to you. Lou, we brought up Lou earlier. We know him and Rock had that moment, but, you know, what we didn't mention was the FBI pulling up on Lou, but Lou stood solid. We know that Lou, he's too ingratiated in this. But one thing, powerful thing Lou said before a very key moment happened was he felt like this is all he was gonna be. This is all he was gonna be. From the moment after he said that, and then they showed Lou going to get a cord. I don't know why there was just random cords, loose cords just in a closet. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? But power gonna be power. It is what it is. And I wasn't born in the 90s. Maybe that was, I mean, I was born in the 90s, but I wasn't, you know, an adult in the 90s. So maybe this is just what it was. But he goes and grabs it. We know he tries to, you know, turn his own water off. He doesn't go through with it. And to the end of the episode, we don't see that he does. So I'm assuming that he never did. But, you know, that's like a super low point. You know what I'm saying? We know Lou has been drunk this whole season, and now he's sober and he's fighting through these demons that, you know, are going through his mind. And it's crazy to see that was something that he was at to that point. But my hope for Lou is that, you know what I'm saying, he never goes through with that and finds a way to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? We got Jukebox. We find out the group is not working out. It is what it is. More than likely, obviously, off the tails of, you know, what happened with Juke and the, you know, the FBI pulling up on her. It just isn't gonna be what it is. We see that it's been a couple weeks, and, you know, now Aisha coming to Juke talking about she got feelings, this, that, and the third, but Juke gotta let her know, like, look, I'm going to the army. It is what it is. And Aisha's like, you don't have to go. But Juke is like, look, I'm never going to escape my family and what they got going on because I'm here. And everybody else is going to get hurt because of it. We saw this happen with Nicole. Everybody's going to get hurt just because of my affiliation to my family. So I got to get out of here. It's a sad thing to say, but I said it earlier in these reviews if you've been watching. Like, it's always that one family member that's not involved that ends up either having to get involved or can't escape and still suffers from the demons that surround the family. And that was Juke. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. We know Juke also had to watch Kanan get captured as part of Kanan's big grand scheme, you know what I'm saying? To get captured was what it was. Obviously, Juke did what she does best because Kanan knew what she would do. Go tell Rock, go tell Marv, and they'd have to respond. And that's what led to the ultimate, last 5-6 minutes of the episodes, you know what I'm saying? So it's sad because I think the next season is just going to be us seeing Juke in like military boot camp or whatever. But we know this happens because we know where Juke's character ends up. So last but not least, we got the return of Unique. I'm not going to lie. I was a full belief Unique was dead. I will not lie to you. I was a full belief that Unique was dead. But I was proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now this is going to trigger the rest of the power community because now it's always going to be like, now we know Ghost's not dead, blah, blah, blah. But we already addressed, if you watch any of my older videos from like last year, the Omari Hardwick said that they've tried to bring him back, but they're not trying to pay him the money he's trying to get paid. So if the money's not going to be right, we're not ever going to see Ghost again. Because they can easily write him back in, I'm pretty sure. It's power. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. But, you know what I'm saying? It to the point where, at this point, I feel like we just got to let that go. Like, if they're not going to pay him, it is what it is. But with Unique, I want to know how he ended up there at the end of who was he with? Like who found, it's too many questions with Unique that need to be answered. Like episode 1 of season 4, like who told Unique where they were? You know what I'm saying? Maybe his girl knew and he's just been chilling out. Because remember, Ronnie's been at his house. So maybe he's just been tracking Ronnie the way Ronnie would have tracked anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And just from afar. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, he threw Unique in the woods or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. And maybe Stefano, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Who's the relationship with, has he been moving solo? It's just tough. It's just tough to know what's going on and how he got here. You know what I'm saying? But they'll show us that, I'm pretty sure, top of season 4, as Power usually does. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. All in all, like I said, good season for sure from Raising Kanan. You know what I'm saying? People were waiting for it to turn up a little bit, and it's turning up. I think season 4, we finally get that, that thing everybody's been asking for, that young Tommy appearance, at least at some point. Maybe towards the end of season 4, we get that, you know what I'm saying, appearance from them. We see Kanan is going to be who he is, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what Kanan and Rock's relationship is going to be like. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of good storylines set up by this finale for sure, but I can't wait to see it. So with that being said, if you got this far, make sure you like the video, subscribe for sure, and leave a comment based on what you think your thoughts is for the finale and for next season going forward. But with that being said, we're out of here. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't focused.